In hour number 2, wolf hunting in Ontario, Canada with Daryl Godden. Then Sergeant Richard Cadenas of the DNR talks about staying safe and legal on your snowmobile. And in hour number 3, it's Jake Romanak of Fishing 411 TV. Listen Saturday mornings at 6 and Sundays at 9 on WSGW.
And that'll do it for Focus today, brought to you by RoofMax, roofmax.com with 2 X's. Stick around now for the Farm Show with Farm Director Terry Henney next after these notes.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
RocketGrabPlus.com. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, this week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is a perfect gift for you and that special someone. It's for the Salt Room and Wellness Spa in Saginaw. You are going to get 1 salt room session for 2 at the Salt Room and Wellness Spa for only $45. Each salt therapy session lasts 45 minutes. Salt therapy boosts immune system and is 100% antibacterial. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
People are saving their money.
Tom Sullivan.
Part of it is because they got some surprise money in their bank accounts, and part of it is people are a little uncertain about things out there. We've got, every time we think we're past one of these COVID variants, here comes another one, and this Omicron. So we don't know if it's going to be big, bad, or indifferent.
Tom Sullivan, weeknights at 7 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show.
Wait. Now climate change is behind the Russia-Ukraine fight.
And it's racist.
And sexist, not to mention homophobic.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Wherever you might be, we're having ourselves a fun day today. We are in Frankenmuth, and yes, we're not shoveling snow. They've got plenty of it to shovel out here, about a foot over the last 24 hours in this town, but it's absolutely gorgeous looking. As long as you don't have to shovel it, everything is just fine. And we're at the Bavarian Inn Lodge, the conference center here, where this morning the 20th annual Great Lakes Regional Dairy Conference is being held. And a lot of folks made their way in yesterday. A number of folks made it in this morning. They've got an excellent crowd here. They're learning all sorts of things, a lot of the farmers, about ways of doing things a little bit better, more efficiently. And most importantly, they're talking about the job situation and how to get more people involved in the farming operation. I guess a lot of businesses would like to know if there's any success out there anywhere, what it is, because a lot of folks are looking for people to work at their business. And we'll be talking a lot more about that as we go through the program today. 17 degrees at the airport, 18 at Radio Center. We've got a north breeze gusting up to 16. So, yep, it feels pretty chilly out there. 64% is our humidity. 30.48 is the barometric pressure. The reason why it's that high is because we have a low pressure or a high pressure system over southeastern Minnesota. And it is going to be gradually, ever so slowly, clearing things out for at least the Upper Peninsula and portions of the Lower Peninsula, the northern part. But down in the Detroit area, they're still looking at snow showers, snow flurry activity. And in some cases, they are forecasting an additional 3 to 5 inches of snow that should have started down there about an hour or so ago into the afternoon hours before everything finally moves out. Now, there is another system that will be affecting the weather in Michigan, but that system has taken a little bit more of a southerly course, and it's moving across and through the Tennessee Valley, all the way from down south Texas to New England. We're looking at winter storm watches, warnings, weather advisories, heavy snows, and that's going to be a part of the weather scene for at least the next 24, if not 36 hours before all of this finally moves into New England and then clears the continental United States. We'll talk about the weather a little bit more as we go through the broadcast. Before we take a look at our markets here, a couple of guys I want to talk to real quick because they made their way in here just to talk to me, right?
That's right.
Yeah, there you go. Tom, Jeff, come on over just for a second. Jeff Laverty and Tom Lohr, you guys are with Quality Roasters over in the Reese area. Jeff, good morning to you.
Morning, Terry.
How's everything going?
Real well. Real well.
The trucks are coming in and you're unloading them and they're moving out, right?
Yeah, we're crushing beans 24/7 now.
And you crush beans for what reason?
We make a high bypass protein meal specifically for the dairy market. We also do an organic meal for layer chickens.
And that's one of the reasons why you're here at this meeting today, because you got a lot of dairy producers that need to know possibly a little bit more, if they don't already, about Acceleromeal, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Tom, tell us a little bit about that product.
Yeah, Acceleromeal is a high bypass protein fed to high producing dairy cattle. It wouldn't be a soybean meal that you would feed to just any animal. It's definitely a target fed product. So in cases where amino acids are limited, and it's kind of one of the first building blocks of that nutrition. So it's a heat treated, extruded, expelled product, kind of a 3-stage process, which really is consistent in the oil content that's left and the bypass level that's created. There are some InstaPro products out there that maybe don't have the level of bypass, or the oil may vary based on that product. So being in the backyard of a lot of large dairies and in the dairy community here in Michigan, we're excited to be here. Took a couple years to kind of, as Jeff said, to get things up and going, but it's been great, and we're proud to be part of the Michigan infrastructure.
I guess I'm just kind of curious, Jeff. We talk about how much work went in to get this facility in operation. Yeah. Physically, that plant went up like overnight.
Yeah, we started working on that plant in May of 2019, and we started crushing the second week of December of 2019.
And as far as the supply of soybeans, you've always had beans, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We fill up the bins during new crop from a lot of local farmers, and then this time of year we're buying more from commercial operatives.
Now, kind of give me an idea, guys. The cycle. All right, you take the beans in. Farmers can bring a truckload of beans in, let's say. What's the process? How long does it take from the time those soybeans are dumped till they're actually put in use?
Till they're actually put in use or made into meal?
Correct.
Well, we hold about 300,000 bushel of beans, and we crush about 12,000 a day. So we're holding, 15 days worth of product, worth of raw beans that we're going to crush.
So there's quite a turnaround.
Yes. Yeah, we're crushing upwards of 200,000 bushel of beans a month currently, which comes out in and that's GMO Roundup Readies, and then about 50,000 organic. So, roughly 3 million bushel a year.
That's the other thing. You're dealing with, I call them regular soybeans, Tom, and you're dealing with organic.
Yeah, and Jeff manages that very well. That's a transition that isn't easy to accomplish, and they've had to kind of change the system. We've got 2 plants in Wisconsin, and neither one of those process organic beans. So it's been a new venture here in Michigan, and something different to manage, but over time we've perfected that, and it's a lower temperature heat treatment that we do on the monogastric side just to make that protein available. We're kind of after two different goals there. In a rumen environment, you want that protein to escape the rumen, and in a monogastric, a poultry or a hog, you want it to be digested. So it is a little nuance in the processing.
Availability of the product, Jeff. Now, do they walk in the door at Quality Roasting and say, "Hey, I want 10 bags"? Or how does this work? Where do you get the product? What's the process? How do we go about buying it?
Right. So we're almost exclusively bulk in, bulk out. So big trucks in, big trucks out. We do occasionally we'll do a tote, a 2,000-pound tote for a sample. And then oil, we load, 6,000-gallon tankers, generally speaking. We can do totes of those as well. But we do work through a dealer network. So whoever your feed dealer is, we're probably working with them, whether it's Calmback or VitaPlus, Active, Zealand.
Brokerage houses.
Yeah. And Tom is that connection for the manufacturing process, to the end user.
So for somebody who's not using it, Tom, again, what should they ask their professional to look for?
They would ask specifically for Acceleromeal out of the Reese plant at Quality Roasting. We work with a variety, as Jeff mentioned, of all. We didn't mention all the names. I could go on forever, but pretty much if you're buying, whoever your feed supplier is, they can buy through us, and we do work with a lot of resellers, and we work with feed mills. We work with a lot of different situations, so they can ask their feed supplier and gladly give me a call or jump on our website, and there's some contact information they can enter at that point.
Guys, thanks a lot for stopping by, saying hello. I know there's a lot of folks you want to talk to out there. We got a really good crowd, so stick around. And again, it goes on tomorrow here, the conference. So, yep. Jeff, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you, Terry. Always a pleasure.
Tom?
Yeah, it was nice catching up with you, Terry, and appreciate everybody out there in radio land, and we certainly appreciate everyone in production ag in Michigan.
All righty. And again, our broadcast today brought to you by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese. We'll take a look at the market, see what's going on in just a moment. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We talked about conventional crop. We talked about organic crop with the folks at Quality Roasting. Well, did you know that the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency is licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance? Yeah, and they want you to be prepared. Get ready. Remember that crop insurance deadline is coming up here pretty fast. It'll be here before you know it. You definitely do need to be prepared for what Mother Nature and everything else is going to throw at you this year. Make sure that you're prepared for taking advantage of the good things and protecting yourself against the bad by working with the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. You can get a hold of any of their agents on their cells for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese at 989-868-4722. We say good morning to Melinda Sweeney. Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great, Melinda. All right, can you tell me just today that we're not going to have to buckle up for another rough ride on these markets?
You know, I would like to say that, but we might have to.
Oh boy, what's jumping around today?
Yeah, today there's a flash cancellation of 380,000 metric tons of corn sold to China. It was canceled this morning, which is why a reason why corn is down. Also, a lot of profit taking, and with the stock market being down today, the Nasdaq being down as well. Beans still has some strength. Beans are up 6 today, with corn down 6.
So on the board right now at the Andersons, what are we looking at?
Right now we have nearby beans at $15.11, new crop beans at $13.42, nearby corn at $5.77, new crop corn at $5.20, nearby wheat at well, I guess I didn't write that one down. New crop wheat at $7.06.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you, I'll take just about anything we can get right now, but there's just not going to be any let up in the foreseeable future, is there?
You know, beans have rallied $1.56. They've rallied pretty strongly. So today it's just a little bit of breathing in the market. But I feel like today's market is just going to be volatile for what we're trading going into the near future.
And especially with all the growing conditions and concerns down in South America. And then you mentioned it about trade agreements, folks not fulfilling their agreements. There's no other thing that's going to happen other than just volatility.
Right. We're trading in a market that's very different than 10 to 20 years ago. Today, you know, with a push of a button, you know what's happening in South America. So the market can trade it instantly versus 10 years ago, you're waiting a week to get that information.
Yeah, it is something else. You take care. Have a good day, Melinda.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining me. The market report brought to you by the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. If you want to know how they can help you, all you got to do is give them a call, or you can go online. Go to their website, frankenmuthcu.org. And by Krizak's House Family Restaurant, if you've got to supply the food for an event coming up, here's a telephone number, 989-894-5531. You order the food, whatever you want, pick it up on the day, and you are a hero at your event. Krizak's House, also a great place to dine in. Corner of Cass and Michigan on Bay City's south side. Doug Klein, we just got done talking to Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons, and so I'm buckled up yet. I haven't released.
Well, the dollar's down pretty good today. You would think that we'd be getting positive reaction to that, but not so much. Silver's down 1%. Natural gas is down 12%. Of course, it's had a heck of a run this year, almost 30% in about a month. So that's probably reached the end of its rope. Facebook is just getting hammered today. Of course, you kind of knew that they were going to have a scapegoat there when, after the election thing a year ago, and they, Google wasn't going to take the heat for that, and China sure wasn't going to take the heat for that. So it looks like Zuckerberg is going to take the heat for that. So that might not be so good. And Melinda Gates says she wants out of the Gates Foundation. She's going to take her money elsewhere and not do what Bill does with his money. And who knows what that is, but I'm sure it's not good. So, who knows? Anyway, so here's your numbers. The March corn, 6.16 1/4, down 6 1/4. The December corn, 5.69 1/4, down 3 3/4. March soybeans, 15.51, up 6 1/4. July soybeans, 15.47, up 4 1/4. The March wheat, 7.48 3/4, down 6 1/4. And December wheat, 7.56 1/4, down 4 3/4. Crude oil did not hit a new high today, but it's 88.77, up 51 cents. Heating oil is $2.80.13, up 3 1/4 cents. Gasoline $2.61.5, up 8/10 of a penny. Natural gas $4.86.5, that's down 63.5 cents. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you $1.2673 at the border. That's up 6 ticks. The yen is at 114.87, up 43 ticks. The euro is at 114.26. That's up 123 ticks. And the dollar's at 95.32. That's down 62 ticks. Gold is at 1804.70, down $4.50. Silver's at 22.49, down 22 cents. Platinum's at 10.34. That's down $9.70.
All right.
Good luck out there.
There's nothing else to say, is there?
Nope.
Doug, you take care, all righty? Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Thumb Bank and Trust offers community farmers the welcome opportunity of working with people who understand the unique needs and challenges of farming. I'm Jared Fisher, Ag Specialist for Thumb Bank and Trust, and I'm also a proud farmer. All of our agricultural loan experts are working farmers, and that's just part of why Thumb Bank and Trust has been recognized as one of Michigan's premier agricultural lenders. It takes a farmer to understand the unique needs and challenges of another farmer, and it takes the lending capital available at Thumb Bank and Trust to grow a farm. Call us today or visit us at thumb.bank. We will meet you at one of our offices, in the field, or at the farm. At Thumb Bank and Trust, our relationships are built on trust. We're an old friend you can rely on. Let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. An equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
Well, finally, 2021 is over. Computer chips are plentiful and store shelves are full again. Hi, I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Buick Ambassador, and unfortunately, absolutely none of that is true. But for car and truck buyers, here is some good news. Cook GM Superstore, even though the lot is still pretty empty, we now have 178 Chevrolets and Buicks, including pickups, Blazers, and finally even Equinoxes, coming in over the next few weeks, some as early as this very week. And we invite you to call or stop out to reserve the vehicle of your choice. You'll find Silverado 4x4 crew cabs starting at $299 a month and Chevy Blazers as low as $245. Who knows? The Chevy of your dreams may be arriving at this very moment. Get out today. That's the Cook GM Superstore, M15, Top of the Hill in Vassar.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease. 10,000 miles per year and includes all rebates. $28.44 on Blazer, $28.89 on Silverado due at signing. Call toll free or visit us online at cookchevybuick.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors. That's what it's all about. You know, they do understand that your life and job both stop if your tractor stops running. They share your enthusiasm for these antique machines, and they know that you want to keep them running. That's why you call Steiner Tractor Parts. You've depended on them. If you've never done it before, here's a telephone number that you should use, 800-234-3280. Or you can go to their website at steinertractor.com. They have the knowledge. It's available for tractor restoration enthusiasts. They've got the knowledge for just getting a part to get that tractor operating at Steiner Tractor Parts. Along with me, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, since I'm at the dairy meeting, let's talk a little bit about livestock.
That's a great idea, Terry. Yes, one of the vital components to a dairy farm is, of course, the cows. And hopefully the producers there are talking to their agents about coverage for those animals. You know, heaven forbid they lose some in a fire. There's also coverage available if they should freeze or suffocate in a snowstorm. There's also risk if they get out and get someplace they shouldn't be, damage the neighbor's property or get hit by a car. So all kinds of risks associated with the cows and the cattle on the farm, several different ways to cover them, and hopefully folks are having that discussion.
Kind of curious. Let's say someone is trucking the livestock, maybe 3, 4, 5 cows that they sold to someone else. They're trucking that to the new location, the new owner, and something happens. Who's covered the livestock? Is it the current owner, or is it the new owner, or is it somebody who's driving the truck?
Well, that's a real good question, Terry. Not a whole lot of clear answers there. If the trucking is being done by a company for hire, hopefully they have coverage because the cattle would then fall under cargo coverage. If it's the person who sold them, there's a potential that same coverage could come from their farm policy, and hard to say what the buyer has. If it's a farm or if it's just a hobby farm, be a good question to ask if you're either the buyer or the seller in that situation. Either one of them has coverage. Sorry, I can't talk for the moment.
Well, the interesting thing is, again, I'm hearing a lot more, and I'm seeing it here. Livestock auctions. There's a lot of that going on right now. Purchasing the animals on the internet, and I was just very curious how that might work. But it's something that folks involved in that probably better contact their agent and get more clarity, more information.
Absolutely. And like everything else, the values of, equipment, homes, and even the livestock are increasing. So you got to incorporate that into your discussion as well.
You sure do. Craig Voorhees, you take care. Have a good day, all right?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
You bet. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Over to Bay Landscaping and Garden Center we go. Jerry Samalski. All right, Jerry. Now, up in Bay City, I don't think our plant of the week got buried. If it was here in Frankenmuth, you got to dig down a little bit to find it. What is the plant of the week this week?
This one you wouldn't have to dig down, Terry, because it's more than a foot. It's witch hazel. It's a native plant. There's a couple varieties, and they're both natives. But the Virginiana it's called Hamlis Virginiana, and it's, again, a native plant, but it blooms October to December. So we get yellow blooms late in the season. They're fragrant. They're not big blooms, but they're thready blooms, and they're fragrant. They do well. The birds like them. And if you have late season pollinators, they'll go out and take care of that. But then if you go to the Vernalis variety, Hamlis Vernalis, that one starts blooming in July to April. So there are things that are blooming this time of the year. Very hard to do, but they do it. And, I guess you could make some hair tonic out of it if you wanted to boil it down, because that's what our old hazel hair tonic was made from. So,
all right, Jerry.
It's a nice ornamental shrub. You use it a lot, Terry.
Okay, thanks a lot. You take care. Jerry Samalski, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Over to Baird we go. David Anderson, good morning. What's going on in New York?
Hey, good morning, Terry. Well, what's going on in New York is as lousy as the weather outside. We got the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 291 points at 35,337, volume of 320 million shares. NASDAQ down 342 points at 1474, volume of 383 million shares, and the S&P is down 69 points at 4519. Locally, stocks are faring a little bit better. Deere up 38 cents at 374.86. CMS Energy up 86 cents at 64.83. Dow up 22 cents at 61.88. DuPont down 60 cents at 78.55. Corteva up 95 cents at 49.08. Caterpillar down $1.82 at 203.12. Huntington Bank up 4 pennies at 15.85. Independent Bank up 4 pennies at 24.11. Home Depot down $4.74 at 368.99. Walmart up 20 cents at 141.05. GM down 19 cents at 53.29. Ford down 38 cents at 20.25. And Mosaic down 89 cents at 43.28.
Have a great day, David. Thank you very much.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. David Anderson. We'll be right back. Do you have a yield monitor in your combine? Do you print off a pretty picture every year, but you don't know what to do with it? Why don't you have PC Ag Solutions analyze your data to help you make profitable decisions for the upcoming season? We can help you analyze your data from your planter, sprayer, or combine and compare it to your soil types and nutrient availability. Anything from the planting date to your speed, population, and variety to elevation, drainage, and in-season applications. We can help you make the most profitable decision on your farm. Call us today, 989-868-4444. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Foster Blue Water Oil. They've got that Diesel Guard Supreme Plus from Valve Tech Petroleum for your diesel that you definitely want to check out. Foster Blue Water Oil. For more information, just go to fosterbluewateroil.com. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around as we continue to broadcast from the Regional Dairy Conference. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem.